Well, good morning, everyone. I'm DJ Sean, and welcome to Saturday streams. So we don't normally stream this early on the weekend, but we are definitely keen for it today. So I've been talking to, or been speaking with my followers who like to fly, not necessarily jets that fire missiles, but the guys that prefer the slower, more comfortable jets. So the civilian guys that appreciate 777, 737, 747 and things like that. So I guess the people that really like prepared 3D and X-Plane. So I've been speaking about it for a little while, where I wanted to... hey Sham, 50 for the coffee. Thanks buddy, really appreciate it. Good morning. Got my pug mug going on here. As you can see, all my little puggies on it. Good morning to you, Sham. So what I wanted to do is some flying in the daytime. With my evening streams, being a crux for reality, I don't really like flying not real time. So it seems to be those flights I do of an evening are always at night. So you don't get to see much out the window. Flying into Cairns the other night, I didn't get to see much out the window at all because I didn't have lights. I had no runway lights and no taxiway lights. So I was really relying on my landing lights, which I think for some reason I don't know whether it's changed in this version of Prepared, but I feel like my lights, both my taxi turn off and landing lights, are really quite weak. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of light at all the other night. But anyway, so we're going to be doing some day flying today. Before I go any further, if you haven't seen me before or you have seen me before, welcome. I'm DJ Sean. If you're wondering what this stuff here above me is in the corner, I do this to raise money for charity, with 100% of your donation going through to our chosen charity. This month it's all about the Smith family, who raised money to help underprivileged children, to make sure that they've got proper uniforms, school shoes, and a couple of other things as well. That's just a very small bit of what they do, helping underprivileged Australian children. Alrighty, so what we're going to do today is we're going to do a return flight. So we're going to fly from Melbourne. If you don't know where Melbourne is, it's one of the most livable cities in the world. So Melbourne is up here, and you can see how busy it is with all the the routing, the high and low altitude routing. We've got here, we'll be heading down to Tasmania, so down to Tassie here. So the top part of Tassie today, we'll be heading down to a place called Launceston, which is a large city in Tasmania. The capital of Tasmania is, of course, Hobart, which is further to the south. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a flight down here from Melbourne. We'll jump on the H169 jetway all the way down here and come into to Launceston. We'll then turn the aircraft around and then fly back to Melbourne. So with this particular flight, we do a technique for fuel management called tankering. What that basically means is that we take as close as possible to what we'll need coming back with us on the way down. So obviously we will be a lot heavier going down than we will coming back, because we're actually taking the fuel for our return trip down on the first leg with us. There's a variety of reasons why airlines do this. Some of it is because the fuel is cheaper at a major airport. They buy in bulk, they get it cheaper, it's cheaper for the airlines. But sometimes it's got to do with the fuel quality at the airport. Not necessarily saying that now that Launceston's got bad fuel, it definitely doesn't, but we would only want to ever top up if for whatever reason we have a few go-arounds into Launceston or something like that, or we divert to Hobart, we then top up, and then whether we connect back to Launceston and then go back up, or something like that. So the idea is to take as much of the fuel that you'll need on the return trip down with you on the first leg. So we'll only be departing out of there with about 5 tonne of fuel, but on the way down we'll be taking 8 tonne. That does cost us some money. Obviously, we've got some extra weight on the aircraft, which means we'll burn a little bit more on the way down there. I can't remember the exact figure for what it was for the weight that you've got in the additional burn and fuel flow per hour. But yeah, we will be burning a little bit more on the way down there because we've got a little bit more weight. We're really light on the way down. We've only got about 59 packs on board. I think we've got over 100 on the way coming back, but that's not unusual for the morning flights down to Tassie to be a little bit light. Before we get into the flight planning, so I am running Prepared 3D version 4. I've got it connected to Active Sky. I'm running FS to Crew. We're sitting here on the Orbix Melbourne. We'll be flying into the Orbix Launceston scenery. We'll be using real-world charts and routing, and we are connected to vPilot, so we are on VATSIM. Our call sign today is VA1632, and if I don't write that down now, if we get some ATC, which we haven't at the moment, I'll definitely forget my call sign. So what I'll do is we've got a Unicom frequency that we operate when there's no ATC online, which is 1228. So we'll set that up now just so I remember. Alrighty, well before we kick off my virtual FO to do the walk around, let's go through the flight plan. Alright, so this is our lovely flight plan. I want to zoom that guy out a little bit so you can see them all. So that's just some, we'll skip the summary page. That's again some more information just about our specifics in our filed flight plan. We don't need to worry about that guy. This is the guy that we want though. So we're going to have a trip time. It's going to be about 53 minutes in the air down there. It's going to require about 2.5 tons of fuel. Work with our contingency fuel, our alternate fuel down to Hobart, a fixed reserve that we've got, and the minimum required. We've also got our tankering fuel that we've got there. And on the deck, we should have 8.7 tonne. We've got 8.8 when I've just rounded up there. Our fuel over the top of the destination is 6 tonne. I feel like my fuel planning is probably going to be a little bit out there when we get down there. We might have to do a little bit of a top up once we get down there. We are quite light, as I was saying. Our zero fuel weight's only 52.6 tonne. With the fuel on board plus the taxi, gives us a takeoff weight there. We have a fuel that we'll use in flight, and our landing weight should be 58, well under our max landing weight. So it's not scheduled out for a little bit. We're not actually scheduled out for probably another 40 or so minutes, a little bit more, which is no big drama. So the wind at our top of climb, so a number greater than 6 indicates that we're going to have a few bumps in flight, just some turbulence. Excuse me. The SR is at 5, so we're going to probably expect a few bumps. We're getting up really high. So I probably should have looked at that. That is really quite high for this sector, but we're light, but we're offsetting that with fuel. So we might do an amended 350 there, or even 330. We'll see when we get up there. Yeah, we might have a few bumps there. The wind is going to be 252 at 75, so the wind is quite strong there. If we look down here, that's an alternate summary. So there's our routing through to Hobart. If we need to come back to Melbourne, what it's going to look like. And if we ended up going past Melbourne for whatever reason and going to Canberra, we're going to need that fuel there and that fuel there, and that's our associated times. Some more contingency summaries for some weight and the fuel burn. Looking at our routing there, so that yellow line we saw on the map down to Launceston. That's basically at Melbourne via the Sunnet 2 to Sunnet, and then we jump on the H165 to Ursula, and then we jump on the Whiskey 105 to Launceston direct. It's 295 nautical miles. It's flight level 370, as we've spoken before, but we'll assess that when we get up there. The route we're going to chuck in the box so it auto-populates because we can't be bothered typing is the Melbourne Launceston 1. Again, with velocity 1362 from Melbourne through to Launceston with a 0 fuel weight. Our reserve is of 2.2 tonne. We've got a cost index which tells the aircraft a generic number of how rich to run, and that adjusts our climb performance, our speeds. So if that was at 100, we'd be running max out. But most airlines never run these aircrafts maxed out. So we run a typical setting, a typical airline setting of about 20 on the cost index. Yeah, we've spoken about that. We've spoken about our cruise wind. It's nice and nippy up there. It's negative 47 degrees centigrade for you Yanks. You'll have to work that out in Fahrenheit. And looking at our spot wind data, so this is the wind over some major waypoints along the way. So our climb Benzo, which is mid almost mid route, and they're now descenting. Descenting. Wow, that's a new word. Descent winds there. We'll keep going on. Looking at the route there. So again, we're going to be landing it with about 6 ton. This will be our alternate. So this will be going from Launceston to Hobart. Be 22 minutes. Alrighty, so let's look at some weather. So the weather for today, the 13th, from 21:30, so almost an hour ago. The wind is 360 at 12 knots. So we'll double check the real world weather, the real world ATIS in lieu of not having an ATIS online, and we'll see. Typically, they'll either be using runway 34 here in Melbourne or runway 27, and we just accept a crosswind. Because we're heading south, we might see if we can jump on 27. And that way we don't have to turn all the way around, go all the way to the north around Melbourne and all the way back down again. We can just track out to the west and do a left-hand turn, and we're heading south. Ceiling and visibility okay, so the weather is good here. It is nippy in Melbourne. It's 3 degrees. Actually, the aircraft is showing 4 degrees, so it is slightly getting warmer. Dew point of 1, so they may have had a little bit of fog overnight. I'm not too sure. QNH1021. No significant weather events. Yeah, it's freaking cold. Still have fog. Oh, well, there you go. So it's still foggy in Melbourne. There you go. I know what I'm talking about. Looking at the weather a little bit later. Again, you're still going to have the wind from the north there. The visibility is going to be good, but you'll have a few clouds roll in. From a little bit later, though, from 1400 at from the 14th at 1800 Zulu, the wind is going to pick up, and you'll be gusting up to about 60 k's an hour. So it is going to get windy in Melbourne. But the weather typically in Melbourne will still remain okay. The ceiling and visibility okay. Alrighty, looking at Lonnie. So Lonnie again is almost an hour old on the weather there. So the wind is 200 degrees at 3 knots. Visibility is good. It is cold. It is chilly. It is 0 degrees in Launceston. So it's gonna. Oh, we might have some. We're gonna watch the that whether we're gonna get some fog. No, I don't see anything fog. Oh yes, we've got some probability of some fog forecasted here. So will be interesting when we get down to Lonnie. I feel like, though, it's going to be an hour and a bit before we get to Lonnie. That's probably going to burn off, but we'll see. So it is 0 degrees, and it's, -1 is the dew point. QNH1020, Jesus, it is cold. Looking a little bit beyond that, the wind is going to swing around a little bit to the left, 5 knots. Ceiling visibility okay. Looking a little bit later on, again, wind is going to be the wind is going to be pretty good there. The visibility is going to be fine. We're going to have a few clouds scattered at 4,000. Looking a little bit later, the wind's going to swing around to the north. Again, visibility is going to be good. That cloud's going to descend down to 2,000 feet, and we're going to have some broken cloud at 3,000 feet. Okay, so we have a 30% probability chance between these times. So 1300. So the 13th at 18. Which is to 13 at 23. So right now, the visibility down to 500 feet of, 500 feet in fog. I've just forgotten what that will be in. Someone will correct me. But fog. So we are forecasting fog in Launceston. So I didn't pack any more fuel on to allow for that. I thought with all our tankering fuel that we're taking down for the return leg, if we've got to hold for a little while, that's no drama. We can burn into that and just get some more gas when we get on the deck in Launceston. Alrighty, so if we cock it all up, or we can't get in due to fog and we divert to Hobart. Again, the weather's just on an hour old now. The wind is out of the north there. The visibility in Hobart is down to 6 kilometres, so that'll be half a kilometre. 6 kilometres, there's drizzle, so there's rain, there's really low cloud down to few at 200 feet, so there's really low cloud there. There's scattered at 2,000 feet, broken at 2,200 feet. The temperature is 6, so it's a bit warmer in Hobart. The dew point is 5, so they're really close. When you get those really close, the chances of fog is quite large. QNH1021, looking at a little bit later on, excuse me, the wind out of the north. Showers of rain, scattered at 1500, broken at 2.5. Excuse me. What do we got here? We've got the wind, we've got more cloud, there's a tempo. So between now and an hour from now, oh no, that's past now, that tempo actually. That tempo expired 29 minutes ago, but visibility down to 4,000, showers of rain, scattered at 200 feet and broken at 1,000 feet. So the Hobart weather looks a bit average at the moment. We've just got fog in Launceston, but we've got low cloud and rain in Hobart. So worst case scenario, we come back. So that's no drama. All right, let's have a look here. So yeah, as I was saying, I apologise for the sideways view here, guys. Melbourne is here, if you can see my little cursor, and we track south to Launceston. We're going to have a crosswind by the looks of it, maybe a slight tailwind on the way down. Probably hear my dog's barking in the background. But we might have a few bumps out of Melbourne, but we'll probably have a rather smooth cruise and descent into Launceston. Alrighty, well let's turn you off and let's get old mate working his doing his things. So we'll get the virtual guy rocking and rolling. So
okay, let's get set up.
Let's get set up. So what we'll do is we'll have a bit of a look outside so you guys can see the aircraft here. And I just realised I won't be able to turn.
Just heading out for the walk around.
Damn, that's a bit of a pain in the bum. FSU IPC access assignment. Yeah, that's what we want. We want a set as a pan view. There we go. Let's see if I can just quickly set that up. There we go. So we are sitting here on the deck. We're sitting on, in an aircraft Yankee Foxtrot Charlie, a Virgin Australia 737-800 winglet edition. America, fuck yeah. Hey Jim, good morning or good evening. It's probably getting quite late for you. So we're sitting here on Echo 9, which is the Virgin Australia terminal. And what we might do here is we might just get some request boarding, Virgin Australia. There we go. We'll get some ground crew on board here and get them setting up the aircraft as well. Oh, only 18:30 for you. Awesome. There you go, Jim. Wow, all right, well, stick around, buddy. So we'll see the ground crew loading the aircraft for us. Alright, so what do we got here? He's probably going to want us to open some doors for him, which we'll need to do because GSX won't start boarding the aircraft unless we do. Oh no. I don't know if you guys can... You can hear them boarding behind me? We've got the door open, obviously, to the flight deck. Let's have a look here. I had to do a readjustment to the GSX, which is what this is running, to get the ground crew. I had to reinstall it, and I think it's gone back to the default settings, so I think it's going to load us up in like 2 minutes, which is not realistic at all. The baggage handler is sitting there ready to go. They're ready to load the bags on the aircraft. Let's have a quick watch of these guys and make sure that they're doing all right. He's going to start chucking the bag, this guy, down to the bottom here. There we go. Start loading the bags on the belts. Into the aircraft they go. Alrighty, well we are back on the flight deck, so let's go get set up here. So what do we want to do? We want to get the charts for Melbourne. One thing I will do really quick is just check the real world ATIS for Melbourne and just see what runways that they are using. Okay, so they are using runway 27. Okay, so that's what we'll use as well, runway 27. So let me just get some charts up here, guys, while we do a couple of things here. So we want Taxi Sid, we want Sonnet 2, which is what we want. That guy there. Approaches. We'll set up that one as well. Beautiful. Okay. Alrighty, so we want company route. We want Melbourne to Launceston 1. Execute. Activate. We're going to go runway 27. We are 1362. 1362 on the flight number. We want our departure out of Melbourne to be on runway 27. We want the Sonnet 2 departure and execute that guy. Beautiful. Okay, so you can see on our this guy just here, we'll bring him up. There we go. So if we can get a bit smart about this, we'll chuck you there, zoom you out to Sonnet. So if we bring up the chart for this guy now, there we go. We'll zoom you in a little bit. So the magenta guy is us. Obviously, we're going to take off from runway 27, so it's track 263. So if we, it's kind of in the way. My head's kind of in the way here. We bring you up here a little bit. There we go. Zoom you in a little bit. We track 263 to Hopla. From Hopla, we do a slight left-hand turn to Darley. And from Darley, we then track off to Sunti, which matches the chart. Okay, from there we're going to go here. We're going to check our weights here. What do we want to do? Go up here. And I'll open this guy so you guys can see it. I might chuck this over here. Okay, so we have a zero fuel weight of 52.6. We have a reserves of 2.2, sorry. A cost index of 20. 370 on the cruise. The wind is 252 at 75.
Hi, the security and safety checks are complete. Can we start boarding now?
It's Deb. Go for it. Yes.
Okay, thanks. We're clear to start boarding.
See you, Deb. Negative 47. Our transition for Australia is 10,000 feet. Okay, so this is our takeoff performance. Our takeoff performance we want to do is here. We'll update you, close you, runway 27. We will go the full length on 27. It'll be a flaps 5. Compute. There we go. So let's close you. So looking at our, we'll pull you over here. Looking at our takeoff performance here, we're going to do an assumed temperature.
Back from the walk around, no issues.
Thanks, buddy. So it's a flaps 5 departure, standard D rate with an assumed temperature of 48 will give us these speeds here. So it's a standard D rate. We're going to go 48 on the temperature, and it's going to give us that. We're going to go a standard climb because it is a short climb, like I was speaking about. It's a rather short route. From here, it's flaps 5. It's the center of gravity, and we want 137. It's just the FO doing the fire checks. 138. 141. Just going to write that down. 137, 138, 141. Okay, so our cruise, we're going to change here, 0.78. Standard cruise speed, 0.78. /280 on the descent, which is our standard descent. Forecast, we want 110 for our transition. And there we go. The box has got us landing with 6.7. The plan says 6 tons, so we're well over the plan at the moment, which is good. And we'll go get set up here. So we want flight director my side master, flight director on the co-pilot as secondary. Melbourne traffic 787 for runway 34, approximately 5 minutes. So we've got an aircraft coming in. Jetstar 18 is coming in. Okay, so what do we want here? We want 141 on you. We want heading 263, which is the initial climb out, 5,000. LNAV, VNAV, RTO on you. We'll set you guys up for if we cock it up and we've got to come back to Melbourne or we have an issue with the aircraft. 263. 141 on you. 141 on you. What is the 1093? Set that up to you. We'll set you to that. We'll go you that side. Do a quick test of the oxygen. Bring you up. We'll do 362 on you. There we go, 362. Alrighty, I think we are we're pretty good. So what we'll do is I will do a briefing for you guys now, and then we'll get the briefing for our virtual co-pilot underway. Okay, so let's have a look here. Our maximum, so our takeoff weight is 61. Our max landing weight is 66, so we're going to be under. Okay. Alrighty, so let's have a look at our routing here. So we are sitting here on Echo 9, which you can see just here. We'll be doing a pushback tail. We'll go left, nose will go right. So we'll be pointing facing to the west. We'll start up, and then what we'll do is, as you can see, we're right here. We'll taxi on via uniform onto Alpha, which is this guy just here. We'll turn right onto Echo and onto Papa, holding point runway 27. Upon blasting off runway 27, I think we've just fully boarded. We will go to this chart here. So it's 263 up to Hopla, 4,000 feet or above. We'll do a left-hand turn to Darley. From Darley, we'll do another left-hand turn, heading 138 to Sunty. If we cock it up and we've got to come back, we'll set up for the ILS approach with runway 27. We are underweight, so we shouldn't have any issues there. Alrighty. Alright. That's interesting. Why have you not given me a pre-flight checklist?
Stand by. I'll just finish my pre-flight procedure.
Well, hurry up, buddy. Time's ticking. There we go. Pre-flight checklist. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Navigation, transfer and display switches. Normal, auto. Window heat, on. Pressurization mode selector, auto. Flight instruments.
Let's get set up here. Sorry, I just got my track IR ticking over here. Flight instruments. We've got heading 263, altimeter 1021.
Checked. Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Alrighty, that's the pre-flight done. Let's do the briefing for this guy. Departure. So we're going to be pushing back. We don't need the ASDEX. Our D rate. We're going to be we're going to have a D rate with assumed temperature. Flaps 5. We're not going to be E-tops. Bleeds will be on. Anti-ice won't be required. We have a crew change. We'll be underweight if we come back. We're doing a standard instrument departure. I'm not going to worry about NADP. Concerns are none.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off the gate. Taxi route will be as assigned by ATC. It'll be a left seat takeoff
Where's that,
using D-rated thrust with an assumed temperature. Planning of flaps 5 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. In the event of a malfunction prior to V1, I will call either reject or continue. Standard low-speed reject procedures below 80 knots. Between 80 knots and V1, I will only conduct a high-speed reject in the case of an engine fire or failure, predictive wind shear warning, or if there is any other condition that makes the aircraft unable or unsafe to take into the air. I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disconnect the auto throttle, apply maximum manual braking or verify the operation of the RTO auto brake, apply maximum reverse thrust, verify the extension of the speed brake,
He goes into a lot
bring
more
the
detail
aircraft
than
to
I
a
do.
complete stop and set the park brake. We will then run the appropriate checklist or evaluate our options. If you could monitor my actions, make the standard rejected takeoff calls, including any abnormalities you observe before advising ATC. From V1, or if the call is to continue, I will continue the takeoff as per the standard company procedures. We will climb to the MSA and track clear of local terrain. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we're okay to make an immediate return. Okay, all going well, the departure routing will be via the ATC assigned SID, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. No noise abatement procedures required. Flight directors are on, mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set and the NOTAMs and aircraft defect log have been reviewed. Okay, any questions, comments or concerns?
No.
None at all.
Oh, damn.
Departure brief
I always
complete.
choose the wrong
Hi
one.
guys, here is the load sheet and no talk for you.
Mind your leg, please.
Thanks.
Okay, verify takeoff speeds. Confirm you're happy.
Confirmed. Check. Confirmed. I'm happy. What do I say there? Verified. Verified. We tried. All right. All right, so my damn voice this morning. We seem to be... Santa Kingy, good evening to you. How you going? Welcome. Where's DCS? This is... We could almost say we're in the tanker. We're about to get airborne to refuel the F-18s. But not really. Have a quick look outside here. There was a Jetstar flight that was coming in, a Jetstar 787. I don't know where he is though. So, Santa, we're heading down to Tasmania this evening. From Melbourne to Launceston. So we're going to do a return flight. We're going to go down to Lonnie and back up again. I've always wished they added those sorts of jobs on DCS. Tanker AWACS, yeah, I know. How good would it be that the AWACS guy is just sitting there on autopilot and doing it? It would be really good. Yeah, maybe they'll get... Maybe I don't feel like that's too hard to implement. Like, just get someone to design up a nice aeroplane. It doesn't need to be fantastic, but just something to provide those roles, you know. Okay, we're just waiting for the cabin supervisor to come in here and tell us she's ready to close up. Yep. Finals runway 34. That Jetstar flight is on finals.
Hi guys, all passengers are on board. Are we clear to close?
Go for it. Yes. Thanks.
Thanks, see you up there.
To a Sydney-Oslo flight. I am due for some long flights, actually. I'm due to do a couple of Sydney to... Or I might do a Australian mainland to Los Angeles, or I might go that way. I'm keen for that. Maybe tomorrow I might do one. Yeah, the properly modelled radar would be nice too, Jim. Alright, so we should see... the aerobridge is pulling away. We'll just have a quick look outside to see if we can spot the 787 or something on finals. No, can't see him. That's okay though. We will. What we'll do is we'll get the pushback guys here. Boarding, prepare pushback and departure. It's going to be nose right, tail left. Do you want to start the engines prior to pushback? No. Yeah, maybe so. That's not too a bad idea. Alrighty. Before start checklist to the line.
Before start checklist to the line. Fuel 8.7 tons. Pumps on. Passenger signs on. Windows.
Locked.
Locked. MCP.
V2141. Heading 263. Altitude 5000. Set and checked.
Takeoff speeds.
Set and checked.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Completed. Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Before start checklist completed to the line.
Before start checklist below the line.
Flight deck door closed and locked. Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist complete.
Release parking brake. Off we go. Off we go at 5-1. Bye guys. Start sequence is 2, then 1.
Check.
Start engine 2.
Starting 2.
So using the regular joystick for this one. Alrighty, so we're looking for 25 on the N2 here. There it is, bringing the fuel in. Oh yeah, there's the Jetstar flight on final now. Guy doing our pushback with us. Looking for an engine stabilised within 1 minute.
Start a cutout.
So cut out. Set parking brake. That's a good start on you. Looking for 2, 4 and 6. It is a little bit chilly this morning, so we're going to see numbers a little bit lower, which is fine. Start engine 1.
Starting 1.
Start the timer again. Here comes one. We're going to see a Jetstar flight roll through here in a second. Fuel coming in. Okay, there's the Jetstar flight, which is actually a Virgin 737. Maybe I've got to play with my models. Since doing the upgrade to the new Sim 4.3, I think it is, from 4.2, a whole bunch of stuff has gone a little bit funny. So GSX, which is these guys here on the ground. Yeah, we're good, buddy. See ya. It's broke. My cans, runway, and taxi lights broke, and a couple of other things. So it's a good start on 1. Pause you, reset you. Flaps 5. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Alright, watch your knees. Back. Forward. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. Right. Center. It's good to that. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators on. Propane on. Anti-ice off. Isolation valve auto. Engine start switches continuous. Recall checked. Auto brake. RTO. Engine start levers.
Continuous. Idle D10.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Dispatch clearance.
Checked.
Checked. Before taxi checklist complete.
Okay, we've got the Jetstar flight here, which is another 7.3. Where's he going? He's going to go down to the. So he's on our taxiway here. Well, no, our taxiway's a bit rude, but he's on Alpha. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is a front of an aircraft just there where my cursor is, which is that Jetstar flight with a model that's not right. So we'll hold. Might as well tell him we'll hold. We'll hold for you to go past. Clear left.
Clear right.
Oh, nice. He said thank you. That's good. There he goes. Good situational awareness by that guy. What's he doing here? We might go on to Victor, if that's the case. Oh, is he coming into international, is he? He might be coming into these bays. Actually, you are... Oh, he's for Delta 6. Roger. He's going for Delta 6. So we might track down here and backtrack. So we'll go down here. Cabin's ready.
The cabin is secure.
So we're going to do a bit of a U-turn here and allow him to go. So he should turn left. There we go. I'll do one when we get airborne, Santa. I'll do one when we get airborne. Oh, it's nice. He's thanked you and have a good flight. It's very nice. Some manners there, and he had good situational awareness. He knew where he wanted to go. He saw that after we pushed back, and he pulled up right up here to let us out. Good situational awareness, which can be a bit missing here. Alright. My sound goes off every now and again, guys, because this the aircraft here. This is an old generation of the. I guess it's the 737's been out for a long time, and it when the window loses focus, it mutes the sound, unlike some of the other aircraft that they've done. So, oh well. So relatively short taxi. We're just going to go around here to the right, or the second right, and our runway will just be up here on the left. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
5 green light.
Stabilizer trim.
5 units set.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Okay, we're clear on the approach. Before takeoff procedure.
Check. Ready to go.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Up to 40%. Let the engine stabilise. Takeoff power. Set takeoff thrust.
Check. Thrust set. 80 knots.
Check.
V1.
Rotate. Positive right.
Gear up. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Flaps up.
Yeah, it is a bit foggy in Melbourne so this morning. Okay. 4,000 or above, we're going to turn
1,000
left.
level.
Go all the way up to 3.7 with you now. After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds, on. Packs, auto. Landing gear, up and off. Flaps, up, no lights. After takeoff checklist, complete.
Take off and fly over Sunshine and Taylor's Hill.
Are you happy to release the cabin crew?
Go for it.
Okay.
The western suburbs of Melbourne. There's the airport behind us. Unleash Deb. Yeah, Deb's up. She's up and about. Alright, we're over the top of Darley. Now it's time to set course for Sunti.
Transition. Are you happy to release the cabin?
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
Set standard.
Standard set. Passing flight level 113. Now.
Check. Detune the navs, please.
Roger. Set.
There the Dandenongs in the background there. Some fog around the area. Definitely some fog in the southeast suburbs. Hey Milo, how you going? Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. There you go, there's our top of climb, guys, and there's our top of descent. Really short on this leg. You have control.
I have control.
Alright, we are airborne.
Center fuel pumps coming off.
Center fuel tanks coming off, okay. Fuel pumps. We've got, there you go, as you can see here. Pull you out a little bit. We're 0 on the, pull you across into the middle there. We're 0 on the center, that center fuel tank. So the pumps are now off. Bit chilly, lovely 6 degrees. Milo, if you don't mind telling me, whereabouts are you? Whereabouts are you located? Takeoff done, after takeoff done. Oh, Sid, no worries. Well, we're flying Melbourne to Launceston, so we're going to go down to Tassie. It was about 4 degrees when we left Melbourne. It's -1 in Lonnie at the moment, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And it brings actually that brings up a pretty valid point. Not that we get to use it very often, maybe a little bit more obviously in winter in Australia, but anti-ice, especially engine anti-ice. Yeah, not this time of year. We're definitely south of Australia. We're right down the bottom, and we're heading to the southernmost tip of Australia now. Did you say Melbourne to Cairns? Well, Barbs, I can fly there now because it's daylight. I don't need runway lights. So we're heading south. So one of the points we need to be mindful of is anti-ice and the build-up of ice, especially around the engine cowling. So we'll be watching that as we're flying through any clouds, and the temperature there is under 10 degrees. We'll have some engine anti-ice, and I imagine that with some clouds down in Lonnie, we're probably going to have to watch the anti-ice for our approach. Speaking of which, we might be able to get some updated weather for Launceston. Let's have a look here. Does that show up for you guys? Yeah, it does. Destination weather for Launceston. Outside air temperature 6 at the moment. Can't quite see it. -9 at the moment, mate. -9. Or -11. Okay, so I was really shocked that you said it was 6 because it was summer. Then I remembered that you guys live on the wrong side of the world in winter. Yeah. Oh yeah, 6 centigrade, mate, not Fahrenheit. So the weather looks much the same. Getting a little bit warmer here. So it's 210 at 4 knots. Good visibility. There's no clouds. The temperature is 1 now. Do a barrel roll. Did I have the events on for this, maybe? Maybe I don't. Hey Larrikin, how you going, buddy? Yeah, I'm gonna make a note, get the sounds working for my flight sim stuff. Sounds for flight sim. You found a bug, Larrikin. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. So there's no rain, but it is mighty cold down there. 1020. Yeah, no real issues. Alright, so what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to start getting ready for our arrival right now, because it is rather short legs. So we want to make sure that we are ahead of the aircraft and have a bit of a look. -6 isn't mighty cold. I feel like Santa's about to tell us -35 is rather cold. Alright, so the sound's going to go off again, guys, while I change programs here and get some charts up for Launceston, so I apologise about that. Okay. Yep, that's why I'm flying during the day. I always fly at night, Milo, and I'm getting the shits with that. Okay, what do we want here? Sector A, it's probably going to be that one, but we'll get the approach. 1-4, we're going to be doing the RNAV for 1-4, the VOR approach. Might do a VOR approach, eh? Alright, so what we'll do is we'll do a VOR approach into runway 14 right. That's all we'll do. BDM. 288, no. 110, no. 310, yes, 310. Big legs. Go straight here onto you. Alright, looks nice and busy down there. Let's zoom you in. Step you through. Doom, doom, boom. And then we jump on you. So we're going to have you slash 4,000 feet. Beautiful. Lowest safe up that way is 320, so we'll actually... We'll have you at 4,000 as well. I'll explain what I'm doing in just a sec, guys. There we go. Okay, so it looks good there. Fix you up here. Okay, so let's bring some charts up. Alrighty, so this is the chart. So we're going to be doing the VOR arrival into runway 14 right, which calls for us to come in. We're going to be coming in and down here. So 130 we'll hit here, and then tenor, and then we'll jump on the approach down runway 14 right. We'll jump over at tenor at 4,000, and then we'll descend via the steps into Launceston. What do we got here? So Tasmanian Devils, yeah, that's definitely right. So we're looking at here for the VOR DME, we're looking at 1440 for our decision height. I'll pop you down, so 1440. Oh, hey, Con. Yeah, it is. And good morning to you. Happy Saturday. So 1440, we'll put plus 50 on that. What was it? 1440. 1490. And that way we don't, if we do... there we go, 1490 for the decision height. So that's the point where we will make our call whether we're going to continue the approach or not. Should we have to go around, it is a, this approach is track 133 outbound to Launceston VOR, climb to 3,000 feet at 7.7 DME, or after passing 2,500, turn right track 080 and do a 260 procedural turn, and then we come back in for the over the top of the VOR at 4,000 feet. Okay. How's the temp in Bris Vegas? The temp in here is probably going to be about 20 degrees, I reckon, or maybe 18. Okay, I take that back, it's 13. Okay, when we come in, we're coming into 14 right. As you can see, we probably wouldn't want to take 14 left. So 14 right, come screaming in here. We'll try and jump off on Bravo, but if we don't get off on Bravo, we'll just go round to Alpha and onto the bay. So no real dramas there. We'll turn you off for now. It'll be an auto brakes 2 landing. Let's have a look here. The box says we're going to land with 6.5 on, what was it? So 58, 59.1. Okay, so we have a landing weight of 59.1. Flaps 40 landing is our standard approach for this aircraft, so 134. There we go. Yeah, so Melbourne was 4 degrees when we took off, and foggy. So yeah, it was definitely not warm. Yeah, you know, anywhere south of Australia, it's, you know, south part of Australia is cool this time of year.
1,000 level.
1,000 level, check. Alright, time for us to do a bit of a call to the cabin. I've already gotten in trouble for not speaking to the guests this morning, so let's do that now. What time are we due in? We're going to be really early. I remember when we were due to land. Where were we due to land? Let's get that up. No, we haven't called Deb yet. We might call Deb on the way back because I got caffeinated before we left. We're going to be really early. 10 minutes early. Magic. Alright. Alright, let's do a PA, eh? PA. Don't need you. I'll do it. Thank you very much. Oh, it's going to come up with that box anyway. We'll just do it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, good morning. Your captain speaking. I'm joined on the flight deck by virtual Chamois, and on behalf of us and your crew at the back, we'd like to welcome you aboard Virgin Flight 1362 through to Launceston. You have our thanks for assisting us with an early departure out of Melbourne, and subsequently we will have an early arrival into Launceston. At this point in time, the box has got us landing 10 minutes early. At this point, we'll be touching down 10 minutes early. With a couple of minutes for the taxi back, we should have you disembarking no later than 5 minutes ahead of schedule. We're anticipating a relatively smooth flight for the remainder of the flight. The weather conditions for our arrival is, if you thought Melbourne was nippy, well, you better prepare yourself for Launceston. On the deck there at the moment, it's 2 degrees. Weather for our arrival, there's no cloud around, and the weather looks relatively stable for the rest of the day. We'll get back to you if anything changes, but if not, that's probably the last you'll hear from us. So on behalf of the crew, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly Virgin Australia this morning, and we trust you've had a pleasant flight. Thank you and good morning. There we go. There is our... I can't get in trouble anymore for not doing a crew announcement. Oh. We talk about Deb like she's crazy guy from Ace Ventura. When nature calls, yeah, Deb's a bitch. Oh, loving those 2D clouds down there. That cloud there looks absolutely high quality. So what we do, I think I was going to speak about it a little bit earlier, but as I was saying, the 737 is rather slippery, especially the 800. And when I say slippery, it is very slippery. So on the descent down, it can gather a lot of energy. It's got a very, I'm lacking I haven't spoken about aviation for a long time in this context, so I forget the technical language to use, but the aircraft is very clean when it's going through the air, so it doesn't have a lot of aerodynamical drag to it. It's got a very slippery wing, which obviously makes it fuel efficient. The downside of all that, though, is when you're on descent, you can either go down or slow down. You can't do both at once. You can chuck the boards out, the speed brakes, but this aircraft doesn't like to slow down and go down. So essentially, if you get high in approach, it's hard to slow up and get down. So what I did is, it had us at 4,000 feet or above here at Tenor, and 4,200 feet here at the D310P, which is the one of the entry points for the VOR approach. So I've just lowered it by 200 feet here, and what we might do again is just, we want 190 slash. We might just reset MCP. We might just make that 190 there and slow up. So we will get nice and low there, not descending below the minimum descent altitude, or the minimum safe altitude for the approach, which is 3,200 feet, and get up. So we get down a little bit early, make sure we're nice and slow for when we get on the approach, we're not fast. And we need to do a descent checklist. Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization. Landing altitude is 550 feet. Recall checked. Auto brake. Level 2. Landing data.
Set and checked.
Approach briefing.
Completed.
Are you sure? Descent checklist
No,
complete.
I'm not sure. I didn't do it. Minimum approach speed fix is 4,000 feet. We need to do that. Minimums are 1490. And there's our descent maybe. This approach is 4,000 feet. Dry auto brakes 2. Flaps 40. We're doing the VOR. Single engine taxi gate. Stand. No air stairs. Next departure is concern file sector of the day.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
The arrival routing will be via the ATC assigned
We're a
start,
little bit late on
complying
the
with all
approach
published
point.
speed
It's my
and
fault.
altitude restrictions for a VOR approach. Planning a flaps 40 landing. VREF is 134. Final approach fix altitude is 4000 feet. Decision altitude is 1490 feet. Missed approach altitude is 4000 feet. Taxi route in will be as assigned by ATC. We'll be arriving at a remote stand. Descent speeds and navigation radios are set. Airport NOTAMs have been reviewed. Any questions, comments or concerns?
None at all.
Approach brief complete.
Alright, down we go. That's why I chose this this leg, like the Melbourne to Canberra leg. This leg literally has you getting up to cruise and then descending down again. So it's not a flight like the Brisbane Cairns flight, which was a 2 hour and 50 minute flight or 2 hour and 40 minute flight. This is nice and short, 52 minutes. Into Cairns the other night, we had a rocking where the aircraft was pitching up and down, sort of going like these. So hopefully it's not going to do it this time. I don't know what that was. It was definitely something to do with Active Sky. I know that Active Sky, my weather program that punches in all the real world weather, has some effect on some aircraft like that or something similar. I think they when it first came out, the aircraft would do a lot of S-turns for some reason. When you're trying to fly straight, it would just kind of rock over like that. They fixed that, but maybe this whole pitching up and down thing when it's on descent might be something to do with that, but we'll see. One of the things we've done since that last flight is I've installed the beta patch for Active Sky, which puts in support for 3.4. Which is this version of Prepare that we're running. I do, Milo. I haven't for a little while. I typically try to fly X-Plane in virtual reality because I really like the native VR controls that it's got. The Zippo Mod 737 is really good in VR. I've done a couple of videos, they're actually on my YouTube channel, of those flights, which has been fun. I haven't done a lot of flying in X-Plane lately. I haven't done a lot of flying in Prepared 3D a lot lately, which is why I'm doing it now. But one of the things I'd want to do is try out VR in 3.4. Apparently Prepared 3D or Lockheed Martin have further developed and enhanced the performance of VR in Prepared 3.4. So I'm very keen to see what it's like. Yeah, with touch only. Yeah, I use my stick, obviously, my throttle stick and stuff like that. But yeah, for touch, it's really nice. I really like starting the engines where you go up there and you click and then you twist. That's really cool. I'm really a big fan of that. Veg, how you going, buddy? How are you? Okay, so status update. We are flying Melbourne to Launceston, and we are on descent into Lonnie. Truck IR is on the wrong side. What is wrong with the world? I think I flipped my camera around on my other streams where it's like when I point that way, it actually points. Oh, I don't know. This is the side I've always had my truck IR on. The Tasman under us? Nothing but ocean. Which side is that? This is my left side. This is my left side. Yeah, Barbs, that doesn't work. If you go to General, Sound... Oh, mute on lost focus. Okay. I thought I'd fix that. Oh yeah, the mute on lost sound doesn't fix the actual engine sounds for the NGX go off, but you hear the outside environmental sounds. In the 777 and the 747, that's fixed, so you can alt tab out and still hear the engine sounds and all that sort of stuff from the aircraft. Oh, but thanks, Barbs. I thought I'd fix that. There you go. That's a bit easier. That's a bit less violent for you all. Yeah, it's flipped, Milo. Oh no, on the 777 Barbs, go through the options of the 777 in the FMC to sound, and you select your sound card, and there's an option there I think as well, and you can set it and you won't lose those sounds for the 777 when you alt tab out either. That's obviously a feature that came with the 777, but it's not in the 7.3. I don't think, unless it's patched it in. Headset, that's what I've got selected. Adjust levels. Play an external view, yes. Yeah, I don't know. Alrighty, everything's looking good. We're on profile on descent in the Lonnie. We've got the, we're at 83 miles to run. I'll pull you over here. 83 miles to run, Launceston VOR. You can see Lonnie's up here. That is the VOR approach for the runway lineup. So we're going to track out here, then left, and then jump on it. Negative 13 degrees centigrade outside, so one of the things that we'll be making sure that we do if we punch in through cloud, we'll have the anti-ice running. Box says we'll be on the deck at about 20 minutes.
Cabin crew,
no,
prepare
not 20
for
minutes,
landing.
10 minutes. Cabin crew prepare for landing. It's flight level 200 on descent. Now, I did an absolutely horrible landing into Cairns the other night. Absolutely garbage. So hopefully we can do a better one this time. We'll get an updated QNH for Lonnie while we're here. 1020. 1020. Descent. I have control.
You have control.
couple of bumps here. Still can't see the land yet. We're on descent. Still can't see land, which is a little bit scary if you're on descent over the water and you're like, oh, I should probably see land in a minute, but no land visible yet. Launceston, given the fact that Launceston's up the top of the island, island? Not its island. Yeah, it's up the top. It's it'll be over water for most of the flight, including the descent. Yeah, Milo, absolutely. I remember I was doing a, I'd just done the upgrade to Prepared 3D. I think I'd gone from 4.1 to 4.2 or something, and I'm like, yeah, let's celebrate this with a flight from, I think it was Brisbane or Sydney, I think it was Sydney to LA, real time. So I'd jump in the 777 and off I'd go. And I was going into LAX, and I had no lights in LAX. But that was a well-known bug for LAX in that version, so that made the approach interesting. I think I've actually got it on my YouTube as well, and I wasn't happy with that landing either. Sam's got a point. Yeah, well, the landing is just controlled crashing anyway, right? Let's keep descent going down to 8,000. I played with the trim after AP came off, and poised this before then. Oh, no way. Saved it though, just annoyed by it. Yeah, it happens. Really, Con? Is that how it works? Oh, there we go. There's Tassie. There's the landfall. One of the things we'll definitely be doing is asking Deb for a coffee when we get on the deck. Definitely need to be caffeinated for that return flight. You just keep going until you get a greaser, wouldn't you? My coffee is very much cold. There you go, Larrikin. That was better late than never. I've remembered I've got all these sounds here as well. Oh, Larrikin left. Oh well. Oh, no way, Bubs. You're kidding. You're kidding.
Transition.
Set altimeters.
1020. Set. Passing. Altitude 10,700.
Get the boards out a little bit. We're just getting a little bit fast there. Speed brake out just a little bit, just a smidge.
Now.
Check. Might do is, whoops, continuous, engine anti-ice, engine anti-ice. So what we do is we put the start switches to continuous, and then before we turn the engine cowling anti-ice on. That way if a big chunk of ice flies off and into the engine, you've got the continuous ignition sequence, so if the engine flames out, if it's a whole lot of water or ice through it really quickly, you've got the starters keep going there and hopefully reignite it straight away. We're just going to go through some clouds here. No, Barbs, yeah, you're kind of committed there. Scanning DME fail. Ooh, what's a new one? Scanning DME fail. Where's the QRH?
Thousand level.
On the QNH. Okay, required. Above 10 degrees.
The cabin is secure.
Off. Okay, we got weather on our side. Not that we're going to have anything, so we'll also chuck the terrain on our side. We'll have the weather on old mate's side. We'll go down to 4,000. Boards out the hallway down. Alrighty guys, when we turn on to the approach here, which will be from D310P, I'm not ignoring you, I'm just concentrating. Okay, our lowest safety on this corridor is 3,200 feet, so we're fine there. It's 5,800 to the right, it's 5,800 to the left. And 6,300 on the other side of the approach, which will be those mountain ranges just there.
$5,000. 1000 level.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 1. Course alive.
Approach checklist.
Altimeters.
1020 set.
1020 set. Approach checklist complete.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5. Final approach fix height checked. Missed approach altitude not set.
Flaps 10. Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Hey Revelations, how you going, buddy? Flaps 15.
Flaps 15.
Yeah, not bad, buddy, not bad. Just on descent into Lonnie. Flaps 25.
Flaps 25.
Oh, Con, thanks for the host, buddy. Really appreciate it. Thanks, mate. You are the best. Anyone see a runway out the front there? Okay, so 10 miles. 10 miles, we want to be about 33. Yeah, we're bang on profile. Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Oh, Con, thanks, buddy. That's really nice. Yeah, try to be a little bit different. Try to walk everyone through what we do. What was a little bit... Flaps 40.
Flaps 40.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
40 green light.
Landing checklist complete.
Alrighty, let's go. Let's fly the aeroplane. That one.
Runway.
Visual.
Check.
Cycle flight directors.
Recycling the flight directors.
Set altitude 4,000. Set missed approach altitude. Fuck it, I'll do it. Ah, there's the runway. Okay, we're gonna go back over this way. Got a bug in here. What a bug from Melbourne.
Approaching minimums.
Tiles up customs.
Minimums.
Landing.
Check.
1,000.
Time to diss the aircraft. We have to get
Stable.
it fumigated. Of course we're stable. Bit to the left. Brace for impact. Where's the love here? Where's the support? A little smidge low.
Speed brake up. Reverse as normal.
Okay, there's Bravo. We're going to go to Alpha.
60 knots. Auto brake,
Brakes
disarm.
off. Alrighty, welcome to Lonnie. Temperature's 4 degrees. Now.
Master caution, ADS.
Alrighty, what bay do we want to go to? Stand, we want gate 2? We'll go gate 2. Actually, we don't want to go too fast here. We've got 3 minutes before we can shut down an engine to let it cool down from its flight temperatures. Bumpy old taxiway. Oh, it's a Jetstar gate. Oh well, we're gonna have to deal with the Jetstar gate. Lights and doors.
Check. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
Oh,
Doors
the Jetstar boys are
disarmed,
gonna look after us
APU
today.
on the bus. We're not at 3 minutes yet.
Okay, not at 3 minutes just yet. Oh well, the Jetstar boys. It's a community It's a community down here in Tassie, so they're going to look after us today. Yeah, I'm going to shut it down. Just stand by. Wait for the 3 minutes. Almost there. Clock over here. FO's counting up to 3 minutes, and we can shut it down.
That's 3 minutes.
3 minutes. There we go. A minute and an hour and 5. It was gate to gate. It's off. It's off. Request deboarding. Cargo doors are opening. Still waiting on the other door. Forward entry is open. We're probably going to have to open the aft entry actually. Menu, access, doors, aft entry. Here we go. Beautiful. Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps off. Propane off. Hydraulic panel set. Flaps up. Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Weather radar
Off.
off. Shutdown checklist complete.
Shutdown checklist complete. There we go, guys. Welcome to Launceston. Oh dear. Bag's coming off now. I think I'm going to go start streaming in 720p. We'll make VR happier. 1080p is okay, but yours... Yeah, that's why I stream in 720, Milo. It doesn't tax your system as hard, and especially being in VR, it taxes your system enough without having to do it. So yeah, highly recommend it. Whoa, here's the bus through the... There we go. Here's the bus to take them into the terminal. No people yet. That's coming in a future version of GSX, which is really cool, which is what you're seeing here. Alrighty, guys. Well, what we might do is I might take Deb up on that opportunity of a coffee. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to take a wee short break of 1 or 2 minutes, and I will be right back, and then we'll set up for a Launceston through to Melbourne flight. So I'll see you all in just a sec.
The second I touch you, can't say what, but there's something about you, it should be this easy. I'm alive if I'm coming closer, standing with you when I want this over. Be the keeper. Fills the frame. I can finally see. I thought that I would fade, but you're a vivid wave crashing at my feet. Sun lights up your face, blossoms fill my gaze. Seasons I never knew, like rain across the valley. Say when and you can have me. Feel the breeze the second I touch you. Can't say what, but there's something about you. It should be this easy. I'm alive.
Alrighty, guys, we are back. Deb makes a beautiful coffee, which is really nice. No, thank you for a wonderful flight. Alrighty, let's reset the clock on you. We use 1.33 aside. 2.6. 6. What do we got on board? 6. Go check out the other plan. We might need to chuck some more on. Reset you. Okay, so that's Melbourne, Launceston. We want Launceston, Melbourne. No, 6 ton is fine for the that. So we'll quickly set the weight. Payload. It wants us having a 0 fuel weight of 56.9. 56.9. And we'll do 115. There we go. Back meow, welcome back Revelations. We are back too. We're still, by the sounds of it, having the Asian tourists getting off the back. Bye bye. See you, bye. You're very welcome. You close.
Great job, gentlemen.
Okay, well, while we wait for these guys to all get off, let's go to the plan here and have a bit of a look here. So we're going to be flying from Launceston through to Melbourne. We have velocity 1365. There we go. We are now reconnected as velocity 1365. So our trip is going to be 47 minutes back. We're going to require that. We've got a contingency of 300 fuel. We're carrying our alternate, which is Avalon. We have a fixed reserve of that. So minimum required is 47. We're going to, with our extra fuel that we've taken on board, we're going to be taking off with 6 ton, which is what we've got on board. We've got a 0 fuel weight of that guy there with our fuel plus taxi gives us a takeoff weight. Minus taxi gives us a takeoff weight. With that, will give us a landing weight of that. You got to warm it up one more time, Shammy. One more time. So we're scheduled off at 1:05, but we're not going to turn it. We're going to wait here for an hour before we get airborne, so we'll go a bit earlier. Looking at our shear rate, so it was 5 on the way down. It was pretty good. We didn't have many bumps at all, but it's 2 on the way back. Obviously, the higher we're a bit lower on the way back. It's flight level 340.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Sham, what's going on here, buddy? Let me help you out. Oh no, Sham got it. There we go. Oh, you're very welcome, Santa. Thank you so much for coming along. Very much. Have a great night, a good sleep. We'll see you again really soon. Thank you for joining us on the flight down. Do you mind me asking what you use for flight planning? I use PFPX, mate. If you Google that, if you don't know what that is, it's a professional flight planning tool. Okay, so can you guys still hear me with the music going okay? You still hear me alright? Yeah, sounds good. Okay, awesome. Alright, so looking at our alternate summary, there's Avalon and our route to Avalon. It's only going to take 13 minutes to get to Avalon from Melbourne. If we end up going to Canberra, it's going to take a little bit longer. And if we end up coming back, divert back. Yeah, it is kind of. It takes a while to get this together like this, but yeah, it's good. There's our route. So runway 14 again, Melbourne via that departure here to there. We jump on the H215 to Warren. And then go up to Melbourne, and we'll probably come in for runway 34. Similar distance to the way down, 266. Our profile is a bit lower this time, so flight level 340. So it's the Melbourne Launceston, velocity 1365. Launceston through to Melbourne, 0 fuel weight. We've got a slightly lower reserve this time. Again, a cost index of 20, flight level 340. The wind is 225 at 40, so the wind's a little bit less than on the way down, and still quite nippy up there at negative 52. Some spot wind data there, adequate airports, for about EDTO. We've got our route there. We're going to land with about 3.4 tonne or 3.5 tonne. Where we got here? That's if we go to Avalon. Alrighty, looking at some weather data or some weather information here. So we know what the weather is here. We got into Lonnie, not too bad. So it is still rather cold. It's 4 degrees. This plan is an hour and a bit old. I did this plan when we before we left Melbourne. So it's a little bit low, but we don't really worry about any of that. It's all looking pretty good. That fog's burnt off now. What other P3D aircraft do you have, Sean? I have the PMDG 777 and the PMDG 747. 747 was the aircraft I used to fly around all the time, but I fly the 777 a lot because it's what Virgin use. Music might be a touch loud. Yeah, I can fix that. How's that, guys? Is the music a little bit better now? More importantly, looking at Melbourne, so it's the wind out of the north, which it was what it was when we were leaving. Still visibility okay, a little bit cool up there. The vocals came in. Is that a little bit better now, Milo, or do I need to turn it down a little bit? QNH 1021, no significant weather. Looking a little bit later on, so between 18 and 24, which is now. So again, the wind is fine. Few at 3,600. A little bit later on, as we were saying before on the way down, it is going to get gusty. The weather in Avalon is much the same. If we don't get into Avalon, the weather in Canberra is far worse. Yeah, it's a lot worse actually. It's nippy in Canberra this morning. Jesus. Yeah, Canberra's going to be fogged in. Canberra's going to cause us some dramas. If we won't go to Canberra, we'll go to Adelaide over Canberra. Alrighty, so again, I apologise for the sideways view here. Yeah, Canberra gets freezing. It's -5 there in Canberra at the moment. So Lonnie, we shoot up here, and then it looks like those bumps start coming in when we get it's closer to Melbourne as per the original plan. Alrighty, let's get, where are we? We want to go to that screen there. Alright, let's get old mate turned around here. So pilot flying.
Okay, on to the next sector.
On to the next sector. Culver City we have, yeah, deep down there in the valley. Show me, load us up with some more songs like this, buddy. This is some nice music. Shami's my resident DJ, guys. He nails the music every time. But you're more than welcome, everyone. You're more than welcome to put some music through. !SR space either the name or a YouTube link. Alrighty.
Just heading out for the walk around.
Yeah, buddy. Better you than me. Alrighty, what do we got here? Let's have a bit of a look here. So a company route here is going to be Melbourne. No, it's going to be Launceston, Melbourne this time. Lonnie, Melbourne, that one there. Execute, activate. We're going to be 1365. We'll just select the runway there. Actually, I'll do it here. Departures. Runway 14 right. Execute. It's got us on the ONAG 1 Alpha. So let's have a bit of a look at that guy. Sid. ONAG 1 Bravo. ONAG 1 Alpha departure. That's a busy chart. Gee, this is going to take some getting used to it, getting my head around that chart there. So it's got the, what's the difference between that and the 1 Bravo? Sorry guys, I'm just having a bit of a look here. The left turn versus the right turn, I guess by the looks of it. So what I'll do is I'll bring the chart up, guys, so you can see it. So it's got us doing the ONAG, the Onagi 1 Alpha departure. So from runway we take off heading 133 at 1500 and also max 220 knots in the turn. We do a right hand turn here and intercept the route is cleared. 014 right, so for Onagi at 1500 feet, which is here, we do a right hand turn, track heading 350, and then we intercept the localizer intercept route as cleared by 5 DME north of Launceston to so yeah, we're pretty much jumping on here onto the localizer, onto the VOR, and then 324 over to Onagi. Onagi 1 Alpha. Execute. Okay, so 324. So while I remember, let's swing that round to 324. So it's a right-hand turn. It's a right-hand turn we need to make sure we do. So 4 miles. Let's put a fix in a Launceston here. /4. There we go. So let me just read this again. So at 1500 we do a right hand turn, track to heading 350. Yep, from 350 intercept route as cleared by 5 DME north of Launceston. So we just need to jump on the intercept. We just need to jump on the route straight for it. 5. So we do a right hand turn and we will be tracking direct to Onagi by then. Okay, so let's we'll dial up heading 350 as well. 350, we'll punch that out to whatever 120, give ourselves some time. Okay, we're done looking at that chart for now. Okay, what we want to do actually, probably know we're going to put you over here again while we get the flight plan up now. Flight plan, there we go. Okay, so we have a 0 fuel weight of 56.9. 56.9. We've got a reserves of 1.9. A cost index of 20. 340 for the flight back. Execute that. The wind is 225 at 40. 225/40. It's negative 52 outside. It's got set transition.
Oh,
is
the
going...
security and safety checks are all done. Can we start boarding now?
Thanks. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Deb. What we might do is get boarding under control. Get boarding going here. So N1 limit. Okay, so we need to go to PFBX here and get Topcat running. Send to Topcat. So we'll turn you off, turn you on. You go back there. So we are take off from Launceston. Update. Close. We'll be going 3-4 right. Flaps 5 standard D rate. Compute. Okay, and there we go. So we want in the box.
Back from the walk around, no issues.
Excellent. So we'll standard D rate 37 degrees. We'll do the do a climb 1, which is fine. Take off flaps 5, and we've got a V1 of 138. We'll make it 139 for VR just so there's some slight separation there. And it's 143 on the climb out. 143. So cruise is 0.78. We can get rid of Top Cat now. And we want descent 0.78/280. Boarding has started. Alrighty, progress. It's going to have us landing with 4 ton. We want 3.4 as per the plan, so all that looks really good. Okay, so we want my flight director as master, yours as secondary, 143 on the climb out. 12, LNAV, BNAV, RTO, and we want to have V1, V rotate set up on that. 340, we want 450 set on you. Okay, lovely. Down here, 1228. You're set 123, you set for that. Alrighty. A little bit of a look outside. People are arriving, but we're yet to see any of the baggage arrive. Jetstar guys are taking good care of us by the looks of it. Good evening. We might do is we might have heading select there on standby because as the primary with LNAV as the secondary, because I definitely feel like the box has got us doing a left-hand turn, which is not. We need to do a right-hand turn, so we just need to be mindful of that. We want that 324 as well. I'm doing good. Yeah, we'll be mindful of that on the climb out. That's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this departure pans out, actually. So what do we got on this? We've got 138, 139, 143 for the climb out. With velocity at 1365. Oh, we've got Greg reaching out. What's going on here? Chase plane being a dick. I think we might have one person with us. We might have Greg coming with us. I don't see another aircraft online just yet, so we'll see. So another one of my followers, Barbs, who you've no doubt flown with in DCS. He's going to do a flight with us as well. Oh, yep, they're loading the bags now for us. I actually better take a photo of that because one of my mates works for Jetstar and he'll love the fact that they're helping us out here. What gate you on? 2 I think we're on. Let's have a look here. Thanks for the help, Steve. We probably went to the wrong gate here, and it defaults to the Jetstar guys, but that's okay. Alrighty. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Navigation, transfer and display switches. Normal, auto. Window heat, on. Pressurization mode selector, auto. Flight instruments.
Heading at 35, correction. Heading 277, altimeter 1020.
Checked. Parking brake.
Set,
Engine start levers.
cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Yeah, Milo, it was horrible. That was my first flight in prepared for a little while. Came in a little bit hot and wasn't really focused on the approach too much. More focused on whinging about the runway lights. But yeah, that you lose that perspective. You lose that perspective down the runway to see whether you're left and right, and you sort of gauge, you know, the height as well. So I lost a lot of visual cues in that flight, which was really annoying. Do I ever look happy? Oh, beautiful. We've got, if we look at our window just here, oh, that was a waste of time. Let's just go outside to the spot view. What do we see to our left? There's Barb's in another Virgin Australia 737. Oh, I don't leave a lot of wingtip distance there. I had a situation where I lost lights at YBAF at night, had to divert to Cooley. Rented a car and flew the approach back the next day. Yeah, right. One of the things I need to check here really quickly, if we go to GSX and go settings, can we turn buses off? I don't know if we can. Yeah, I bet, buddy. I bet it was. Yeah, they slot you in though. You feel a bit bad though. You're sitting there coming in on your bug smasher, and there's a 7.3 or something at the holding point. All right, we better do a briefing here. This guy, departure gate is going to be, we're a stand, pushback, we don't need that. We are derate with assumed temperature, flaps 5, EDO, anti-ice not required, same crew, underweight, it's a SID, we're at NetApp, concerns are terrain.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off the stand. Taxi
runway
route will be
yeah,
as assigned by ATC. It'll be a left seat takeoff using derated thrust with an assumed temperature. Planning of flaps 5 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. Standard reject actions to V1 as briefed. From V1, or if the call is to continue, I will continue the takeoff as per the standard company procedures. The engine out procedure today is as per the chart. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we're okay to make an immediate return. Okay, all going well, the departure routing will be via the ATC assigned SID, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. No noise abatement procedures required. Flight directors are on, mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set, and the NOTAMs and aircraft defect log have been reviewed. The local terrain poses a threat, so we'll treat all GPWS terrain alerts as genuine. Okay, any questions, comments or concerns?
No question.
Departure brief complete.
Guessed it. Cabin log says coffee machine is US. Well, I got the last coffee out of at Revelations. I'm cool with that. I think Deb's on the door and she's a bit, I can hear her talk and she's a bit rude. Can I see your boarding pass please, sir? Okay, Deb. As long as it's not the lab. No, there's one at the front, two down the back. And the one up the front is reserved for the business class passengers. So, business class passengers, 4 of them get a loo to themselves. And 170 get 2 loos down the back. You work that one out.
Hi guys, here is the low cheat and no talk for you.
Thanks.
Talk to you again soon.
Fucking Tasmanians. Yeah, it's true.
Watch out for your leg, please. Okay, verify takeoff speeds. Confirm you're happy.
Confirmed.
Check.
Just kicking back, waiting for them to board us up. Takeoff speed 88 mile per hour. I think we're going to go going a little bit faster. Just a little bit. 88 miles an hour. I feel like that's close to it. Why do I feel like that's... We're going back to the future. Can you guys hear them boarding in the background? Would be a great spin in a bug smasher. I think Barbs needs to turn his strobes off. Yeah, we need a 330, a decent 330. I consider looking at the 332 and go across to Hong Kong in it. I don't know if there is a good 330, is there? We finished boarding. Yeah, I'm doing it. Did I turn off something here? If I go to general, did I turn off information? Message text? I think I turned that off. I feel like that's the message stuff across the top. Yeah, it is. GSX settings. Where's the timer for simulation? Sound, user interface, other airlines override, deboarding time, refueling, time acceleration, message interval. There we go. Let's go 30 seconds on you. It's really annoying.
Hi guys, all passengers are on board. Are we clear to close?
Thanks, it will be a short taxi.
Thanks, let me know if you need anything.
Will do, Deb. See you later. No, that's the terrain radar revelations, where the radar is off. Alright, let's go top down and let's just see where our other... is Barb's watching? Yeah, Barb's, do you want to push back first and then we'll push back as well? Thanks, Shazza. Can we see Barb's? Oh yeah, there he is. He wouldn't have seen me anyway. Hey Barbs, you left this in the cockpit, flips him off. No, he still hasn't pushed back yet. Okay, before start checklist to the line. Before start checklist to the line.
Before start checklist to the line. Fuel 5.9 tons. Pumps on. Passenger signs on. Windows
Locked.
locked. MCP
V2143, heading 350, altitude flight level 120.
checked. Takeoff speeds.
Set and checked.
CDU pre-flight
Completed.
completed. Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Before start checklist completed to the line.
Revelations, no, this is called FS to crew. It simulates the virtual co-pilot, so he'll do a lot of the things for me as well and help me manage the aircraft. Helps relieve the load a little bit from me. Before start checklist below the line. Before start checklist below the line.
Flight deck door closed and locked. Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist complete.
Has he pushed back yet? No, not yet. We have to restart the GSX here. Does disabling it disable it completely? Enable. There we go, because that's right. So we got rid of them out of the way. There we go. It's power out, babe. That's right. Lonnie's not a pushback port. It's a power out port. So I had to get rid of the GSX crew there. Otherwise, we would have gone into them. Can you fly pilot and co-pilot in this? You can in certain aircraft revelations. The Dash 8 is one of them, but you can't in this yet. Alrighty. So let's get you running. Start sequence is 2, then 1.
Check.
Start engine 2.
Starting 2.
You're coming in. Looking for a good engine start within 1 minute.
Starter cutout.
On a cutout, looks like stable engine start 2, 4 and 6. Restart you. Start engine 1. Start engine 1.
Starting 1.
My FO is deaf, I swear. You're coming in. Yet to experience it, Con. Yet to experience. I've got the Dash 8 that can do it, I've just never done it with anyone. Oh, I sound like a loner now. Please like me. Start a cutout.
Starter cutout.
Good start on 1. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Watch your legs. Back. Center. Forward. Center. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. Right. Center. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators. On. Propane. On. Anti-ice. Off. Isolation valve. Auto. Engine start switches. Continuous. Recall. Checked. Auto brake. RTO. Engine start levers.
Idle D10.
Flight controls.
Checked. Checked.
Dispatch clearance.
Checked.
Checked. Before taxi checklist. Complete.
Alrighty. Clear left. Clear left.
Clear right.
Fucking deaf. Alright, let's go. Nah, Shaz is with us. It wasn't a crew change. Shaz is with us. She's Deb's the CS. Oh, Shell, you're saying Shaz is the ground crew? Oh, yeah, you can't say anything about Shaz. It's Deb. Deb's the one we need to talk. We can't say anything bad about. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
5 green light.
Stabilizer trim.
5.1 units set.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
I don't know if the cabin's going to have the... I don't know if the crew's going to have the cabin ready before we get there. We might have to hold. Good old Deb. She's a simple lady. Like Deb, easy mash. Oh. Cabin is ready.
The cabin is secure.
Can't do that. We shouldn't have done the before takeoff checklist until that was done, actually. Whoops. Top down. Where is our other 733? He's just taxiing now. Alrighty. Before takeoff procedure.
Check.
Let's go.
Ready to go.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Geez, Deb's that old? Alrighty. To 40. Set takeoff thrust.
Check. Thrust set. $80 knots.
Check.
V1.
Rotate. Positive right.
Gear up. Right turn. Heading select.
Bank angle.
Whoop. This was a right turn, guys, not a left turn, as the box wanted. Flaps 1. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Flaps up.
nav. After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist, engine bleeds, on, packs, auto, landing gear, up and off, flaps, up, no lights. After takeoff checklist, complete.
There we go, not a lot of room to reject the takeoff. Yeah, Con, that's...
Are you happy to release the cabin crew?
Go for it.
Okay.
That, yeah, V1 there, we have to jump right on it there. We used absolutely the maximum runway there and D-rate we possibly could out of Lonnie. Which means, yeah, you haven't got a lot of room for a rejection, but you've got enough to pull up, but you're right on it. 340.
Transition.
Set standard.
Standard set. Passing flight level 104. Now.
Check. You have control.
I have control.
There we go, guys. That's how we do that. Yeah, well, it's not as satisfying if you derate too much and the end of the runway comes screaming down.
Okay to release the cabin?
Go for it.
Okay.
Alright, cruise up. Okay. Guests are up. There we go. Alrighty. This is going to be a very short flight as well, so we'll get ourselves, we'll start looking at the charts on the way back. Launceston, destination Launceston. What did I do there? Edit. YMML. Is it a bit better? Okay, over the top of Warren. Taxi, it's going to be guy there, parking bay's that guy there. Our arrival, what do we reckon the weather's like in Melbourne? We should probably load our next Melbourne, Launceston, Melbourne. There we go. Let's have a look at the weather for Melbourne here. So Melbourne. So the wind is still out of the north, 360 at 8. Good visibility. There's a few clouds at 2.5. Temperature's 10 degrees in Melbourne now. Dew point of 3. QH 1021. Yeah, we'll do a visual approach into runway 34. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in via Warren, and what it does is Warren pretty much takes us to Monty, which is going to be the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, and then we turn left and we track direct to Essendon, and we fly over the top of Essendon, or Sheed, which is a waypoint over Essendon, more precisely at 2,500 feet. We're fully configured at 2,500 feet, so gears out, we're almost on approach speed, and then we do a visual 90-degree right turn onto runway 34. So it's one of my favourite approaches to do. It is also one of those ones that you really need to be on top of your game, because if you're high, you're fast, and then you've got to do a right turn or visual, it can get a bit tough. So what we'll do is we'll get that set up now. So if we look here, I'll bring up the chart, and the chart's going to be a bit tough because it's sideways, but there we go. I'll zoom it in a little bit. We start here at Warren, which you can see is the last waypoint on our sim just here. We go Warren, and we go to Mitchin, and then we go to Monty, and then we turn left to Agata and Sheed, and then we do a visual right-hand turn there onto runway 34. Yeah, they did keep attacking me for a little while, but we managed to get past that, and it was a really good go. I'm keen to show you guys mining and all the things you can do with mining, but I might do that a little bit later. Okay, so and then we come in and we do that right-hand turn. So that guy is the Warren for Victor arrival. So let's go set that up now. So our departure, Melbourne is our arrival. It's going to be runway 34 without an approach on it. And it's going to be the Warren for Victor arrival. And execute that guy. So legs, get you there, sheed, and we're going to put the runway just there. We want to be 2,500 there. Execute. Alrighty, so if we go to plan mode here, we're going to see a whole bunch of stuff just there in Melbourne. If we zoom you in, there's Warren, and then we do our left-hand turn, sheed, and there is our lovely visual right turn onto runway 34. Execute order 66. Do I have that order 66?
Execute order 66.
Yep, it's not too bad. What we will do though is we've got the Warren 4. We're going to set up a missed approach though. We're going to set up the approach for the VOR for runway 34. Just in case we do cock it up, we've got something to fall back to. So 1141 is going to be the VOR for you. We'll set it on both. Connie, yeah, you could have Revelations. Yeah, I like the Connie. Connie is a really good all-purpose multi-role ship, and it's the ship that they give me until my Starliner comes out, so I get to use that. We'll do 760 on the MDA there. So 760, we're going to do 810. Go 810. It's going to be heading course is going to be 346. 346. I think when they introduced it, I boarded one that was floating around and we all cursed around in it. Oh, we all cruised around in it, sorry. Operating turrets, man, so hard to hit stuff. Yeah, it is. Their turret, the way they do turrets isn't great. The fact that you can move your mouse left and you get to a point where the turret will then start turning and it won't turn to where your cursor is. It'll just keep turning around and that fucks with me. Alrighty, so we are on our way. We do have an aircraft behind us. We've got Barbs behind us. He departed shortly after, so he'll be chasing us down on the way into Melbourne as well. Okay, so 190 nautical miles out from Melbourne, we picked up the VOR already. Oh, yeah. Oh, how come that didn't work? Why now? Sure, I'll set the parking brake. There we go, we've got the some flight information up there on the screen now under the Prepared 3D logo we didn't have before. Apparently you've got to manually choose that, it doesn't auto come up. Oh well. Hello? Barbs, you on Discord?
Oh,
Hello.
yeah, mate, I'm here.
1000 level.
1000 level.
Okay. Took me a second to figure out what that noise meant. So. we gonna do the Victor arrival?
The Warren for Victor.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you were gonna, shoot the Alpha and then I would cut in front of you on Sheen on the Victor.
No way, mate. I love my little right turn onto finals. What flight level did the plan give you?
36.
Oh, lucky you. You must be lighter than me.
Got about 40 miles of cruise.
Yeah, copy. Have you got the picked up the VOR yet for Melbourne?
Yeah.
What are you at?
195.
Oh yeah, cool. I've got 30 miles on you.
Yeah, I got your TCAS.
Floor at Barb's. You won't be able to catch me. 30 miles in such a short sector, you won't catch me.
Nah.
Where's my bad weather to fly around, mate? They patched that out, did they?
Where's all your where's all your thunderstorms, mate?
I still haven't been able to fix my cans lights. Reinstalled it, reinstalled the libraries, turned Rex off, turned Rex on. I actually think I've got Rex turned off. Or I might have it on, I gotta check. Those clouds are looking pretty basic. Shams is loading the soundtrack up. It's nice, Sham. Hey, Revelations has got some songs happening now. Did a better landing into Cairns than I did coming into... Oh, sorry, better landing into Lonnie than I did in Cairns. Far out. Landing song. Okay, Revelations, remind me when we get close to make sure that we get that. at the right time. It's not like the go around song, is it? Like you can always go around. Alright, let's do this. So what do we got? 3.8. No, 56.9. Don't know. Jeez. $61.7. That there. To our descent checklist. I have control.
You have control.
Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization. Landing altitude is 450 feet. Recall checked. Auto brake off. Landing data.
There we go. Set and checked. Set and checked.
The auto brake, buddy.
Whoops. Yeah, whoops. Set and checked.
Approach briefing.
Not completed.
Are you sure? Descent checklist complete.
Approach. We'll do 2,500.
Just fucking with your beam.
810. Missed approach for this guy. We'll shoot the missed approach for that. 4,000. ILS, no, it's going to be a visual. Pups 40, that'll let you. Bleeds on, dry, auto brake 2. It'll be a gate. Yes. Concerns, no.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
The arrival routing
sure?
will be via the ATC assigned start, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. For our visual approach, planning a flaps 40 landing. VREF is 137. Final approach fixed altitude is 2500 feet. Decision altitude is 810 feet. Missed approach altitude is 4000 feet. Taxi route in will be as assigned by ATC. We'll be arriving at a gate. Descent speeds and navigation radios are set. Airport NOTAMs have been reviewed. Any questions, comments or concerns?
No question.
Approach
No
brief
questions.
complete.
Okay, we better talk to the guests on board. What time are we doing? 11:55. We're going to be 20 minutes early. Our weather for our arrival. Okay, let's. You have the radio. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you, on behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard Velocity 1365 through to Melbourne. We've just reached our top of descent into Melbourne. The box has us estimating you that we'll get you there on the deck, touch and get at about 20 minutes early at 11:35. Weather for arrival is good. It is rather nippy, but a little bit warmer than it was in Launceston. There's a wind out of the north there, a couple of clouds around, and a temperature of 11 degrees. That's about all you'll hear from us now. Unless something changes, I'd like to, on behalf of the crew, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly Virgin Australia and trust you've had a pleasant flight. Good morning. Here we go, back we go. Invalid entry. Why are you giving me invalid entry? Because we don't have you on that. Actually, I will bring you back up and get the weather.
For Bay Echo 5, mate.
Copy Echo 5. (1021) on the altimeter. 1021. Oh, we got some traffic. We have traffic. Where is he? Can we see him? He's heading down to Tassie by the looks of it.
Almost 1009.
Qantas 1009. Yeah, Revelations, you get the full suite of TCAS warnings. And wind shear alerts, all of it. Nah, he's 20 miles away, we're not going to see him. Have a look at this, but not... No idea what version to buy. You can just buy the academic version, mate, that's fine. Almost an AIM-7 range. Almost, chum, almost. Nah, he's too far away, let's check. I feel like my clouds aren't... I feel like I've got default clouds on. I feel like I haven't put Rex back on. Whoops. But is that effective rain, Shammy? Yeah, that's true.
Hey, to Active Sky's credit though,
Yeah.
the clouds that I am seeing look almost exactly the same as the clouds that I see.
Hey. Have you... my clouds look shit, right? Like, I forgot to put Rex back on, didn't I?
Yeah, yours look a little bit flatter. Mine look like they've got a bit more grayscale to them.
Yeah, copy. Fox one.
But like, I've got that little fluffy bit of cumulus out to the left. I've got the little bit of stratus just to the right of that. I've got the clump of cumulus to the right of that. It's drawing almost exactly the same thing for you and me.
That's really cool. Question, do you set up the VOR as your backup when you're doing a visual approach? They're in here?
Hey, firm?
Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah, copy. So Barb's behind us is top of descent. So yeah, he's a good 30 miles behind us, maybe 25 miles now. So a quick reminder, guys, for the new people that have joined us on the approach, we're going to be over the top of Warren here. We're going to go down to Mitchin at 230 knots. We're going to do a left-hand turn at Moncton and slow no faster than 185. We want to be fully configured or very close to at least flaps 30 by Sheed. And then we do a right-hand visual turn into runway 34. Thanks, Barbs. Have we got anyone inbound to Melbourne besides us?
There's a Cessna going into Moorabbin.
Oh, no shit, really? Fly to the top of him.
Yeah, go past the tower.
Oh, we'll be to the right of him, actually.
Yeah, he's almost there.
We don't have to worry about the Cessna.
Archer.
Oh, the Archer? Yeah, copy.
Cherokee, VA28, whichever variant he's in.
Yeah, copy. Got a bit of a turn happening here as we turn back on track.
Hey, have you noticed that since we installed TACU for DCS, it records all our flights in flights as well?
Yeah. How cool is it? It's good.
I really need to go back and have a look at it.
You gotta leave the window open that comes up, otherwise it doesn't record if you close it.
Yeah. Gotta fix my control mappings.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
It's a really short flight on the way back. 36 minutes since we pushed back. Well, not pushed back since I started the engines, and we're already almost in Melbourne. We'll be landing in 10 minutes. It's a short flight from Lonnie to Melbourne, that's for sure. We got, can we see Moorabbin?
Transition.
Not transition. Ugh. One thing we forgot to do on the guy just there. Still got a while to go before we get there. I was thinking Moorabbin was just down to my left, but no, it is absolutely not. Really, Melbourne? Whoops. Oh, we want you there. We want a star. That guy there. Alright, over to Warren. to 9,000. I hope that wind swings around when we get closer to Melbourne. That should be coming from the north for the runway 34.
Yeah, it's all the westerlies are off.
Yeah, copy. That's a good question, Sham. I think it does. Does the waypoint Warren, is that over the top of Narry Warren?
I don't know, maybe.
I think so. I think it's close to, because that is out. Narry Warren is out this way. It might be, Sham.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at, it'd be pretty close, might be.
Yeah.
Moorabbin traffic, Bravo Victor Mike, 2500 for runway 35 right, Moorabbin. If you look out the right side of the aircraft, you'll see Sham's house. Hey Sham, hey buddy. Quick, open the window, we'll punch something out. I won't laze you. Thanks, buddy. 46, mate. Lulu, yeah, empty the loo. Okay. Yeah, copy. Okay, slowing up. I can marry any shit nav data.
Yeah.
Clearly his fault.
Tell him to get in the sim at 4 AM and sort it out, will you?
Set altimeters.
1021. Set. Passing. Altitude 10,300. Now.
Check. Ah, come on, baby, let's go. So we've slowed to 240 knots, so we're under the 250 speed restriction below 10,000 feet, which is what we are now. And we've now jumped onto the local QNH under 10. Nosing down.
1,000 level.
We'll go down. We'll go down to 2.5. So Moorabbin Airport is going to be just on the other side of these clouds here. I think it's just there. There's Moorabbin, or very low res quality of Moorabbin. Something I've got to do is install my Orbix Moorabbin. What's the green arc on the FCD that moved with the altitude adjustment? That shows us where we're going to cross that altitude, where we're going to reach the altitude at. So we're going to be about 2.5 where we need to be, which is going to be just up here. So we need to be sheet by 2.5, so that looks about right. Cabin is secure. Yeah, I haven't got my Orbix Moorabbin Centre in bollocks of it. Yeah, copy. Yeah, it's got nothing on X-Plane. X-Plane, when you put the satellite data over X-Plane, so it downloads it all from like Bing and Google Maps, overlays all of it. With that looks schmick. I'll be able to follow roads, I'll be able to point out buildings and everything if we're an X-Plane. unfortunately X-Planes just isn't great in some other areas. That really lets it down. Weather's one, some physics are another, and large commercial aircraft like this is another one as well. They let it down, unfortunately. VR though, they're really leading the charge with VR. I'd be really happy. Oh yeah, control mapping options as well. If VR was as far advanced as Prepared 3D, sorry, if X-Plane's VR functionality and how far they've gone with it was in Prepared 3D, I'd be really happy. Alright, coming up on our left turn. So there's the city of Melbourne just over here. We've got a deceleration point here to start slowing us up for that final leg down here. Oh dear. If you want to show you a quick look at the chart, you can see that here we are. So on the overlay of the Navigraph charts is really cool. So we'll be coming down here. You can see us moving.
$5,000.
5,000. It's going to correct its speed and speed up a little bit to match it right before a decel point. That wind's starting to slowly come around to the north now, the further that we descend. Okay, and there's our decel point. And here we turn to track direct to Essendon. Oh yeah, that looks very different, Barbs. Very different. Yeah, Barbs, that looks different. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Approach checklist.
Altimeters.
1021 set.
1021 set. Approach checklist complete.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Flaps 15.
Flaps 15.
Flaps 25.
Flaps 25.
What is that landing music?
It's my co-pilot, buddy. It's my co-pilot. Flaps 30. Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
I've got a virtual co-pilot Frail 182, and he helps fly the aircraft with me. Flaps 40.
Flaps 40.
2500.
Cycle the flight directors.
Recycling the flight directors.
Set missed approach altitude.
Missed approach altitude set.
Set heading 340. Set heading 340.
Heading 340 set.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
40 green light. 40. 40 green light.
Landing checklist complete.
Visual.
Check. Stable.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Landing.
Check. Speed brake up. Reverse as normal. .60 knots. Auto brake disarmed.
Welcome to Melbourne, guys, where the local temperature is 13 degrees.
Master caution, EDIs.
Echo 5, mate. Hey, so okay, Wex off. Traffic off. Echo 5 is going to be this side. F12. Echo 5. Virgin Australia. Ooh. Wasn't far off, was he, Sham? Cities of the crazies. Lights and doors.
Check.
Wow.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. Doors disarmed, APU on the bus.
Where's Barbs? There he goes, touching down just now in the background. Touchdown.
We're not at 3 minutes yet.
Not at 3 minutes, okay. The bus, yeah.
That's 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Shut down 2, shut down 1. Stop you. 59 minutes, almost just under an hour. It was an hour and 5 down there, gate to gate, an hour, 59 minutes, gate to gate on the way back. No. Request deboarding. Wait 20 minutes for a taxi the rest of the day in traffic. Shab. That's not the right way to be, buddy. Doors. Open the rear door. What the hell's going on with these guys? You would never drive under there. That's... What the fuck? Jerks. Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps off. Propane off. Hydraulic panel set. Flaps up. Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Weather radar
Off.
off. Shutdown checklist complete.
And there we go. Where's Barb's at? There he is. I thought you'd go next to me.
No, mate, I'm Echo 6.
Okay. Touching tips. Twelve of 156 passengers deboarded. Oh, that's new in GSX. Where's Barbs? There he is. No. Let's critique his turn in. No, he's done this before. He did nail it. If we go to GSX settings, what do we got here? Timings, deboarding, per passenger, refueling, simulation, parking, slow down speed, 7.5 knots, straight pushback distance 100 meters, follow me car 18. It doesn't look like we can adjust the baggage. I guess they get the baggage off really quickly by the looks of it. There we go. Both of us on the bay. Welcome to Melbourne. Alrighty. Well, guys, that's probably going to do me here for this morning. I might be back maybe tomorrow morning. We'll do. No, mate, you missed the first one there, Revelations. But we are going to maybe do another flight tomorrow morning. We might head to Canberra and see if there's going to be dodgy weather in Canberra. It might be kind of cool to see if we can get into there or divert. And I can show you through the process for diverting and adjusting the flight plan on the go and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully the weather's bad in Canberra tomorrow. We might do another early morning sector and do a Melbourne-Canberra return or even a Sydney-Canberra return tomorrow. But I hope you all really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it. It is good being back in Prepared 3D and actually doing it at during daytime hours rather than doing it at night, so I can actually see out the window. But I feel like there might be some Star Citizen streaming going on this weekend too. So yeah, if you're around, you've got nothing else to do later on, we might get into some Star Citizen and do some mining in Star Citizen. I've also got a new tank tank. It's not, that's the wrong word for it. A rover or something. I want to put in the back of my Connie and take it somewhere and do some exploring. So we'll have a crack at doing that as well. But until then, guys, thanks so much for being part of it, and I'll see you all again really soon. Bye for now.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.